Hi, my name is Courtney, and this is my van, Sheila Van Disco. She's a 1999 Ford E150. Let's go check her out. So my van already had these hooks installed whenever I bought the van, and honestly, I love having that much storage. I pretty much keep like my most used items up here, so my hiking bag, various coats, my purse. This is my favorite thing in the van. It definitely gives Sheila her personality. I got this tapestry by trading a guy in New Mexico. So I just think it gives her so much personality. Also, namesake, have the disco ball hanging, and also keep all of my produce hanging. With my initial build out, I didn't include any kind of electrical system or fixed solar. I think when people get into planning what their build is going to look like, it's really easy to be like, I need to have this, I need to have a toilet, I need to have solar, I need to have these big batteries. And for me, I don't use a lot of power, and I just wanted to kind of get on the road and get going and see what I actually needed to be able to build over time. So I started with a secondhand cooler that I've had for many years, and I've started collecting stickers of all of the places that I've traveled. And I recently got this USB faucet, which has been a lifesaver for having running water in the van. I just ratchet strapped it to one of my poles so it's secure when I drive. Underneath my bed is all of my storage. So I have a bin. This is all of my dry food. I keep my camp chair and propane back here and my toolbox. Under here, I keep my yoga mat. And then this is a box that right now is all of the clothes that I'm selling secondhand. Just nice having extra storage. So full-time van life really wasn't in my life plan. I grew up in Southern Indiana. After college, I moved to Las Vegas and I worked for a corporate fashion retailer. And I was there for 6 years and knew that I needed a change. So I actually quit that job in October of 2019. I had saved up a bunch of money because my travel dream was to backpack Southeast Asia solo. So I quit my job and I went over to Southeast Asia, and then 5 months later, the pandemic hit and I came back to the US, and I didn't have an apartment, I didn't have a job, the fashion industry was abysmal, and I didn't really want to go back into that industry. So I stayed with my parents during quarantine, and then by this summer I was like, I need to do something different. And van life had always been in the back of my head as something that I wanted to do, but I just didn't think it would be in this stage of life. I've done van life in other countries before, but for much shorter periods of time. But this summer I just decided that that would be the next best thing that I could do. So I set up email alerts on every major city in the Midwest for camper van, conversion van. And in July, this one popped up in Chicago, and just something about it just spoke to me. I slept on it, and then the next morning called the guy, and then a day later was driving with my dad up to Chicago to buy the van. Did a very quick build out. One of my dad's friends just did something simple because I didn't know at that point. It's an old van. She had 224,000 miles when I bought her. So I was like, is this actually going to last that long? How long do I want to be on the road? And now it's been 7 months and I love it. And I'm so happy that life worked out in the way that it did. It's just been a really great adventure, and she really feels like home. So my van already had this above storage when I bought her, which has been incredible. So I keep all of my clothes up here in packing cubes, so it's really easy to just pull out what I need for the day. Again, Sheila Van Disco has to have all of her disco balls in the van, and I keep my bandanas hung up on hooks that were already installed from the previous owner. I keep all of my hats on this side, so everything up here is just clothing in the van. This is my bed. It was just built with 2x4s and plywood. I drilled holes into it. Mold can be a problem with vans, so making sure you have good ventilation is key. For my mattress, so 90% of my van I got secondhand or from like curb trash, etc. So what my mattress is actually 3 different mattress toppers that I cut to size. So there's 2 twin mattresses that I cut to size that are slightly different widths and then 1 layer on top. So it's kind of a hodgepodge, but it works for me. Yeah. With my above storage, above the driver and passenger seat, I basically bent these bins and I use them for kind of my junk drawer, my toiletries, and like my camera gear. It's really easy. This is like the easy access stuff that I use every day. I had just installed like a basic curtain rod here and have my curtains that black out, so at night I can easily have that separation, no one looking in my van. The van has these LED lights, one in the front and one in the back, that run off the car battery, but that's what I use for my lighting at night. They can run for over 4 hours before I kill my battery. The van had built-in shades, which are awesome for privacy and anytime I'm at a trailhead, easily being able to shut those so no one can see in the van. This is the driver's seat where I spend the bulk of my time. Up here, I just have this console where I keep all of my water easy accessible whenever I'm driving. I have a Bluetooth transmitter for listening to music on the road. I always keep a hat up here. The van had original blue carpet, which I left up here and then ripped out in the back and put down vinyl flooring, but left up here for the 90s vibe. Van life really pushes you outside of your comfort zone. I think a lot of people get caught up in the idea of it's like this really glamorized, beautiful life, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of stressful situations. Figuring out where to park and is where you're parking safe overnight. Where are you gonna get groceries? Where are you gonna dump your gray water? Where are you gonna go to the bathroom? Where are you gonna shower? So there's constantly like a million questions running through your head doing van life, and I think a lot of that gets like kind of pushed to the side with beautiful images and you're, going hiking every day, and all of that's great, but what van life did for me was really push me outside of my comfort zone and really kind of shine a light. Like when you travel, you're not running away from your problems. They're still gonna follow you on the road. But what van life has done is given me the tools and like confidence that I can face anything head on. Like I know myself better now than I ever have in my entire life. And I can truly say, it sounds cheesy, that like I'm my own best friend and I know just so much about what I like and what I want when I do eventually settle down. I'm hoping to be nomadic for a while, but that might not always be the case. And I think just having this time to reconnect to myself and who I am without the like security of a stable apartment or a stable job, that really takes a special kind of person. And what, I've loved being able to find those kind of like-minded people on the road. I think COVID really pushed out a new group of, people living nomadically. And it's just been really awesome to kind of get to connect with people who are doing the same thing, or maybe, are asking the same questions and want to go down this path of what else is out there in life. In the back, I keep my gray water container. I have a bin that has all of my like tent, sleeping bag, camping, outdoor gear. I keep my propane stove here, and I have a bin of my cookware. One of my favorite features that came with the van is this canopy. It really extends the living space of the van. Since I'm cooking outside or working outside, I can use my fold-up table and have some shady areas to be able to work. And it's really just like my front porch. Something that's unique about my van is that I built it out 90% secondhand. Sustainability is something that's important to me in my life, and also I had fixed income that I was working with to outfit the van. So utilizing Facebook Marketplace to buy my flooring secondhand, to buying my bedding from Goodwill. Just things like little things that added up to creating a really unique van for low budget. I think when you're doing a van build out, it's really easy to get caught up in what everyone else's builds look like and the things that you think you need. And while I love those van builds that are pretty high tech, I just needed to be realistic with what my budget was and what I was going to be doing in the van. And by starting small, I've been able to really see what I need on the road and be able to add onto the van over time. I think if I could go back and tell myself something before starting van life, it's that you can't do it all and you're never going to be able to do it all, and to really just slow down and enjoy the moments. I think because doing van life, you have to constantly be thinking about like your route and the weather and where you're gonna sleep. It's easy to kind of take yourself out of the moment. So something for me, just like reconnecting, like when you're on a beautiful hike, don't be thinking about where you're gonna sleep that night or like groceries you're gonna get the next day. Really trying to stay present and in the moment, because when else are you gonna have this opportunity in life? Some of these places you know that you're just never gonna be able to go back to, or if you do, they're gonna be different. So really just staying in the moment and enjoying it for what it is. Thank you for watching and letting me share my story of Sheila Van Disco. If you'd like to follow along on my travels, you can find me on Instagram. My username is @Court_knee, knee like the body part, with 7 E's.